Elon Musk once spent $25,000 on a jacket. To most of us, that sounds outrageous. Who in their right mind would pay that much for something to wear? But for Elon, it wasn't just clothing. It was a statement, an idea, and a reminder of what he had worked for. People sometimes think billionaires waste money just to show off. But with Musk, it's never that simple. Everything he does, from rockets to cars to jackets, has a reason, even if it seems unusual at first glance. That $25,000 jacket became a story, a conversation starter, and in many ways, a symbol of his philosophy. Because Elon has never been afraid to do things differently. He once said, "Some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is disaster." That jacket was a change, a leap away from the ordinary. And when you look at Musk's life, you see this pattern again and again. He does things that other people laugh at, criticize, or think are impossible. Yet, he keeps moving forward. The $25,000 jacket is a reminder that sometimes in life, you need to make bold choices, take risks, and not be afraid of how people see you. Elon Musk was not born into wealth. He grew up in South Africa, shy, bookish, and often bullied. He found escape in computers, coding, and dreams of the future. He believed in creating a better world through technology, even when nobody else around him thought that way. One of his most powerful quotes is, "When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor." Imagine how crazy it must have sounded in the 1990s when a young man talked about colonizing Mars, making electric cars mainstream, or building underground tunnels to beat traffic. Yet Musk kept saying it, and more importantly, he kept working on it. That's what makes his journey special. He doesn't just wear expensive jackets for status. He wears his beliefs, his work, and his determination like armor. Every company he founded, PayPal, SpaceX, Tesla, Neuralink, the Boring Company, was born out of an idea that most people would laugh at. But Elon has another quote: "I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary." That is his secret. He is not some alien genius from another planet. He is a man who decided to think differently, to believe in extraordinary possibilities, and to act with relentless energy. When Elon bought that jacket, it sparked criticism. People asked, why waste so much money on a single piece of clothing? But if you think about it, it's the same criticism he has faced his entire career. Why waste money on rockets when there are problems on Earth? Why waste money on electric cars when gas works fine? Why waste time building tunnels when roads already exist? To Elon, the answer is simple. Progress always looks like waste until it succeeds. And when it does succeed, it changes everything. He once said, "Persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up." That jacket is persistence too, because it tells us that he doesn't care about fitting into other people's boxes. He doesn't care about what's considered normal. He persists in being different. And being different is what built Tesla into the most valuable car company in the world, and SpaceX into the first private company to land rockets and send astronauts to the International Space Station. But Elon's life isn't only about success. It's also about struggle. He has said, "Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough." Think about that. Most of us avoid failure like it's poison, but Elon embraces it. SpaceX rockets exploded. Tesla almost went bankrupt. PayPal faced legal battles. Yet every failure became fuel for the next success. That jacket, expensive as it is, represents that mindset too. Sometimes you take a risk, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the real mistake is never daring at all. Elon also reminds us of something deeper. I think it's possible to make things that are new and radical and still be successful. That's the beauty of innovation. The world doesn't move forward when we repeat what has already been done. It moves forward when someone dares to dream a little bigger, push a little harder, and invest a little deeper. That jacket may be just fabric and design, but it carries a message. Don't be afraid to stand out. Don't be afraid to look different. Don't be afraid of what people say about you. And that's where the motivational lesson comes in. Every one of us has a $25,000 jacket moment. Maybe not literally. Maybe for us it's starting a business when everyone around us says it's risky. Maybe it's moving to a new city when people say we should stay safe. Maybe it's choosing an unusual career when family and friends expect something different. That moment of boldness defines the rest of our story. Elon Musk teaches us that if you really want to make history, you need to stop living for approval and start living for purpose. He once shared another powerful thought. If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. Otherwise, it's not. Optimism is his engine. Even when critics laugh, even when failures pile up, even when sleepless nights drain his energy, Musk wakes up believing that tomorrow can be better. That optimism is contagious. It's the same optimism that makes young engineers line up to work at SpaceX for less money than they could make elsewhere, because they believe in the mission. When people saw Elon in that $25,000 jacket, they didn't see just fashion. They saw confidence. They saw someone who isn't afraid to be himself. And that's a message for all of us. Wear your confidence like a jacket. Wear your dreams like a uniform. Let people criticize. Let them doubt. Let them misunderstand. At the end of the day, the people who change the world are not the ones who follow the crowd. They are the ones who stand apart. Remember his quote, "If something is important enough, even if the odds are against you, you should still do it." That is courage. That is leadership. And that is exactly what Musk shows in everything from jackets to rockets. So next time you think something is too crazy, too ambitious, or too expensive in terms of your time, energy, or effort, remember Elon Musk and his jacket. It's not about the money. It's about the mindset. It's about choosing to live differently, to dream boldly, and to act fearlessly. That is the Musk way. And that can be your way too. Because the truth is, you don't need billions of dollars to learn from Elon Musk. You just need his mindset. Be bold, embrace change, stay persistent, welcome failure, dream big, and wear your confidence like it's worth $25,000. And maybe one day, people will look at you, just like they look at Musk, and realize you weren't wasting anything. You were building the future.